Hey, good morning. How y'all doing? It is Well Red Beard. It's a damn fine day to talk about some books, and we are here today for Beard Book Talk, where I show you what I read, what I got, what I'm going to read. Got through a couple books last week, and I need that. Um, yeah. So I finished The Tommy Knockers by Stephen King. This was a reread. The reviews up for it. 3-star read for me. I finished The Night Watchman by Louise Erdrich. This is my fifth read on my Pulitzer project, and I enjoyed it. It's middle of the road as far as the five books I've read. I gave it 3.5 stars, so it's actually right in the middle. There's a couple that I've liked more. There's a couple that I've liked less. But the review for that is up as well, so you can check that out. Um, I am now 500 pages into A Storm of Swords by George R. R. Martin. I mean, of course, I'm enjoying it. I mean, at the end of the day, I've seen the show twice. I had not read the books. I got this neat little faux leather bound set or whatever, and I wanted to be able to say that I'd read them. So I'm working my way through these books. I am 200 pages into Wake Up and Open Your Eyes by Clay McLeod Chapman. I mean, I really enjoyed the way it started. Now it kind of feels like, I don't know. I don't want to say that it's dragging, but I mean, I get what's going on, and I feel like the opening scene was like, I don't know, roughly 70 pages long, and I felt like, I mean, I got it. I got the gist of what's going on. I felt like that kind of dragged out, and now we're kind of at a secondary scene that might be like a build up to the opening scene, but it's with other family members of our of who I assume is our main character. Anyway, it kind of feels like that's dragging a bit as well. I mean, just for me. But Wake Up and Open Your Eyes by Clay McLeod Chapman. So, I should finish that this week. I don't know about this. I mean, maybe. I mean, I've got like 700 pages left in this book. So, but again, I'm on this cycle of Game of Thrones, a Stephen King reread, kind of, maybe. We'll see. Um, as soon as I finish McLeod Chapman, I might read. I don't know. I'm either going to go back into my next Pulitzer book, or I'm definitely going to get started on this month. This is a Graveside Gallery by Eric Gunyard. This was sent to me for review. I do not accept a lot of books for review anymore, but I did accept this one. Or I might read a couple short ones, right? Because I've got some longish books going on. Maybe a Carlton Mellick, um, maybe a couple books that I actually got in the mail this week, and then shortly after that, again, I'm on a pace to do two Pulitzers a month. I've already done the Airdrich. This is the next one. So fairly soon I'll be reading The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead. I got a bunch of cool stuff in the mail this week. Most of it was stuff I've already read that I needed for the shelves. Some of it is stuff that I plan on reading in the near future. But so we'll go through that. I'll show you what I got, and yeah. So I got another Carlton Mellick, As She Stabbed Me Gently in the Face. Um, I ordered this book from Amazon, and they sent me the wrong book. They sent me, honestly, it was a treasury of gospel music is what I got in the mail. And so I had to, of course, on their end, the package was delivered. Yeah, the package was delivered, but it was the wrong book. So eventually I got them to resend me another copy of that. So again, I'm slowly reading a couple Melix a month or something like that. And then I did a bunch of orders on eBay or maybe somewhere on Pango. So, and really it was a situation of I was targeting one book and then ordered others to complete like the buy two get one free or the buy three get one free that I've often talked about. But I got a copy of The Push by Ashley Aldrain. My wife and I have both read this. We didn't have a copy for the shelf. We needed one. This book is really good, if I remember correctly. I mean, I know that I remember correctly, but it has been a while since I read it. But I just remember being a little bit surprised, thrilled by how much I liked this book. I mean, it is a Good Morning America book club book, and I don't read very many of those, and they all be great. But it surprised me that this book was as horrific and edgy, maybe, as it was. But so The Push by Ashley Aldrain, picked up a copy of that for the shelves. So I bought this book on Pango, Ghost Eaters by Clay McLeod Chapman. Again, I'm reading a Clay McLeod Chapman right now. It's the first I've ever read. This is the one that I saw all over social media and kind of got the guy on my radar, but I did not read it. And so sometime in the near future, April, something like that, I'll be reading Ghost Eaters by Clay McLeod Chapman. And then that was a Pango buy, and when I'm on Pango, of course, look through the seller's other stuff to see if there's anything I can combine shipping on. And I needed a copy of Hyde by Kirsten White. I read this a couple years ago, I think, and I did not own a copy, so now I do. And then this was a thrift store buy. I bought this book for a quarter at a thrift store. Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. I read this, I don't know, 5 years ago or so. It is a story told. I mean, it is a bunch of poems, very, very quick read, but they're linear or somewhat linear. That they all go together to tell one story, and ultimately it's a ghost story, in a way. Yeah, so I dug this book back then, and I saw it for a quarter, and I grabbed it. Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. I think I picked this up at the Goodwill. I needed a copy of the BFG for the shelves, and so I grabbed that one. And then I know this one was to complete an order on eBay, but A House at the Bottom of a Lake by Josh Mallerman. Again, another book I've read in the last couple of years, but didn't own a copy anymore, and grabbed that one. I think I bought this book solo, and this book, I mean, it's not that it's expensive, but it's like your people aren't out there selling this book for like $4 or $5. I was trying to complete my Catriona Ward collection, and I'd had this book at some time as well as the next one I'm going to show you. Might as well just grab it too. But I'd had both of these books, but then gotten rid of them in a downtime or whatever, and I wanted a copy of them for the Ward section of my shelves because I've read a lot of her stuff in the last um, 3 months. I mean, I read Looking Glass Sound, which I think is the latest, and then I went back and got a couple of the early ones, or one of the early ones, which was what was that one called? Little Eve, I think. And I've got her first novel, which is like The Girl from Raw Blood, which I still need to read, but once I read that, I will have read all her work. So one of these to complete the Ward collection. Um, Completing an order again on eBay. I grabbed a hardcover copy of Mexican Gothic. I still haven't read this. I've got a bunch of Moreno Garcia stuff. I haven't read her at all yet. I plan on it. I'm probably gonna um, put this on the soon to be read TBR. Unless you don't think I should. I know it got a little bit of hype at least when it came out, but that's been years now, so I don't know. I bought, I can't remember what I bought, but I bought something on Pango, and I don't remember. But anyway, the seller had a couple of like really cheap books. I think one of them was $2, one of them was $1. I owned a copy of this already. I think I've read this. It is very, very short. Tim Leben, Pieces of Hate. It is autographed, 450 signed number copies, and I really think I got it for like $2 out there or something like that. I think I've read it, but then when I go look at my YouTube history, I don't have anything out there on it. So I picked that up, and because it signed Tim Levin for, and then I picked up um, King of Souls by Brian Knight, I think it is. It's also a signed book out of 300, like only 300 of these exist, and so I grabbed that. This was $1. I mean, on Pango. So I, again, when I said I was going to get into something short, I might get into one of these, and just to kind of, I guess, put it behind me, and so got a couple of short ones there, and then one other thing that I picked up. I think I already showed you this last week, but I got the Bird Eater by Nia Alborn. Again, I've read Hmm, four, four Alborn books, all within the last 6 months, and I'm slowly trying to add her to my list of read authors. So I picked up the Bird Eater. I've got this, and I've got Seed. Those are the two that I have that I haven't read. So one of these is probably Seed, though, because that's the one I've heard the most about is coming in the near future. And then uh, again, completing an order, I grabbed a copy of Jonathan Jan's The Siren and the Spectre. It's a library copy, which again sucks, but it is what it is. The I used to read a lot of Flame Tree Press books. I was kind of on their I was on their review list. They sent me a lot of books for free, and I read not nearly as many as they sent, but I read probably, I don't know, 10 or 12 Flame Tree Press books. Jan's, I read maybe four or so of his books. And I remember really, really liking this at the time, like it being an excellent, excellent ghost story. At least that's what I said about it back then. But I know that I really liked this book, and so I grabbed a copy of that on eBay. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, working through Storm of Swords, I'm going to be there for at least probably another week. Um, doing the McLeod Chapman, and then gonna do something else quick and short horror before I dig into the next Pulitzer book. And that's really it. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're enjoying all your books, all of them, as much as I am. If not, you're reading the wrong damn books.